everybody, welcome to Skyline's weekly video blurb. We are going on to part 2 of leading people through change. And last week we covered just one major thought, and that is this. People obviously do not like to go through change. Organizations don't like to go through change. They're made up of people who don't like to go through change. And so we need to learn as leaders to help people navigate through change, because the people are the organization. Without the people, there is no organization. And so we talked about this, that they need, remember the old green chart? If you've seen the last video, if not, go back there and watch that one. It's the chart that we had, a little road that passes through 2 different lands, and it got to a city of change. The city of change, a wonderful place to be. It helps us to grow. I'm talking about positive change, of course. But on either side of that road, we had 2 different lands that they had to pass through. One land was the land of same. That is your comfort zone. That is where you feel safe and secure. And then the other side was the land of change, or different. So you had the same land. Things are similar. And over here, the land where everything is different. And we said this, that path that we're navigating through must spend more time in the comfortable zone. Ben Ingebretson said that statement to me. He said, as you're helping people navigate through change, change won't happen in them if they're constantly uncomfortable. There has to be more comfort than there is discomfort. And so get them back into the comfortable zone, the comfortable land, and then take them back over here into the discomfort zone, if you will. And they will begin to experience better positive change, because they're not freaking out all the time. And part of that comfort zone was sharing your vision with them, sharing the principles with them before the changes come, the advantages of the changes, so on and so forth, things like that. So today, we're back to number 3. We had 2 parts to that. We broke it up into 2 parts. So third part today, or third main point, if you will, if we want people to grow and change, as we share our messages, or in our churches, or at our seminars, our conferences, we have to offer them some comfort. So let's come back to that chart that we just alluded to a minute ago, and think about this. This is why churches should, if they don't, so sorry about that, you should be. This is why we offer nice furniture, some nice lighting, atmosphere. And this is why we go to churches where we are familiar with the people there, and we know some of the material. If I go to a church and think about the first time you went to a church or a new organization or a new place, and you just felt so uncomfortable. But as soon as you ran into somebody that you knew, right? Oh man, that just takes the ice off. That's a great icebreaker and helps the familiar and helps the sameness of that situation, so you can navigate through the different land in that situation, so to speak. Think about a nursery, right? You bring your children to preschool, nursery, or daycare, or preschool at the church you go to, and it's their first or second time there, and they are just losing it. They're all upset. They don't want to go in there. And what do? If there's nobody they know there, mom goes in with them, dad goes in with them, sits with them until they get familiar with some of the kids there, right? They get familiar with some of the toys there, and then they sneak out. Mom, dad sneaks out. The child is doing fine, picks them up an hour, at the end of the day for daycare, and they have done fine. Why? What happened? They navigated through that change in that child's life, bringing the familiar in. You can't always just whip out all discomfortable changes on people and expect them to respond properly, right? This is important, especially in a church plant, Skyline people, because it's different almost every week just by the nature of the beast. There's no stable environment per se, and so you have to work hard at producing a stable sameness environment, a comfortable environment. Maybe you do the service order this same way each week, but then the message brings the challenging points, the land of differentness to the people and causes or helps people to grow and change. So think about those. More on that in a minute, perhaps. I'm thinking about the story of Joshua. In the book of Joshua that's in the Bible, Joshua's taking over for the great leader Moses. He's leading people into the promised land. He had a huge task to go into an unfamiliar territory, different lands, different people, some giants there even in the land of Canaan, and God brought sameness to the situation. I'm going to read a couple verses from the Bible. Listen to this. My servant Moses, he's dead. This is Joshua, the first chapter. Now therefore get up, go over the river Jordan, and with this people to the land which I promised to give them. And every place that your feet touches, that you walk upon, I will give it to you, just as I told Moses that. Now listen to this. From the wilderness to the Lebanon, even to the great river, he's telling them he's going to give them great amounts of land, which they have not taken yet, by the way. But verse 5, no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Watch this. The sameness is coming in here. As I was with Moses, so shall I be with you. And I will not fail you nor forsake you. The last verse ends like this. The 9th verse actually. For Jehovah, your God, is with you in all the places where you go. Now here's the deal. These guys, the Israelites, were traveling through the desert from Egypt to get to the land of milk and honey, Canaan. And they watched God do miracles. He split the Red Sea. Yes, He literally split the Red Sea. It wasn't just 2 or 3 inches deep. It was deep because all of the enemies, after Israel got through, drowned in it. Then they get to the other side of the Red Sea. They don't have any food. They don't have any water. For 40 years, God supernaturally provides for them water and meat and manna falls from the sky, right? And so they seen God do all these miracles. Water from rocks, water out of a bitter pond. You throw a log in there and it gets sweet and they are able to drink that water. And so when God says this, as I was with Moses, so I'll be with you, that brought them huge comfort because they watched God do miracles through the administration of Moses. And so this is very important. God understands this principle. This principle came from Him. Make things comfortable for people in the midst of traveling through the land of the land of Ab, the land of uncomfortableness, if you will, okay? That gets us through to the end here on change, going through changes, staying in the right land, the land of same enough, and getting over into the land of different just enough to produce and get us through the pathway all the way to the city of change. We'll pick this up again with part 4 next week. Until then, God bless you in your travels of change.
A flood of mercy pours down over me. Christ